Now, beyond the pomp and ceremony of the Conference of Lawyers holding in Enugu State, Nigeria citizens, both home and abroad, are waiting anxiously to see how this body of luminaries, jurists, and legal scholars would produce practicable and actionable policy recommendations that can transform the lives of our citizens and improve our country. One important area that has affected millions of Nigerians, both alive and those that have gone to the great beyond, is the area of justice administration. And this is an area that lawyers and judges in Nigeria have superintendence over. The question of quick and efficient justice administration. We all know that justice delayed is justice denied. The system of justice administration in Nigeria is too slow and sometimes frustrating for our people. Cases drag and linger and protract in the court's dockets for decades. Sometimes the litigants who started the case, they die in the process of pursuing the case, and their children are compelled to continue with the litigation. In other words, our people who have suffered wrong or some wrong, who have been injured, who have been victims of brazen breaches of contract, whose fundamental rights have been violated, whose lands and properties have been unlawfully expropriated or taken away from them by the government, they come to court. They come to the Nigerian courts to seek justice. And they are faced with delays and a whole cornucopia of technicalities. One process has not been filed. The judge is not in court. The plaintiff counsel is not in court. The defendant counsel is not in court. I've had several experiences in Abuja where you prepare yourself to go to court on a date fixed by the judge himself or herself. Plaintiff counsel is aware. The defendant counsel is aware. Everybody is aware. You prepare yourself, read your case files, do your legal research, prepare your client for examinations, both in chief, re-examination and cross-examination. And you come to court on the day that the judge himself fixed. And everybody is there, waiting for the judge. The client had left the business he's doing, spent enormous amounts of money transporting himself to the court to attend a court on the day that the judge had fixed. 10 minutes into the appointed time, 20 minutes into the appointed time, 1 hour sometimes into the appointed time, the judge is not there. And then the court clerk would, at some point in the process, saunter leisurely into the court to announce that his lordship will not be coming to court today. People can come and take dates for sitting on a different day. And you see our lawyers, jumping to take dates. And nobody is even outraged by the anomaly. And so, these are the things that when you put them together, they constitute the reason for the delays we have in our judicial system. And cases continue to linger, and there is adjournment for several reasons. A case that could ordinarily have been concluded within 6 months or 5 months take close to 5 years and 7 years and sometimes 15 years to conclude. I've had a case, of course, at the Supreme Court This case was started before I was born. It continued to linger, and the litigants who started the case, of course, they died, and their children continued with the case. I posted that on my Facebook page. That case was concluded, I think when I was about 28 years ago, 28 years or something. That was when the case was concluded. So that is not justice. If our people, in the course of seeking judicial or legal remedy to the injuries and the wrongs they have suffered, they have to spend so much money, so much time and resources, go through, varying degrees of emotional trauma and distress pursuing a case, and they are not even alive in most cases to enjoy the fruits of the litigation. That is not justice. As a matter of fact, such a process means that our justice system makes our people who are seeking justice victims of the justice system. In other words, our people in the course of seeking justice end up being victims of our justice system. Because if I have been wronged and I come to court to seek remedy, and I spend so much money, so much time, so much resources, and then I die in the process of doing that without getting the remedy, I have suffered double injustice. I've suffered double injury. So I hope that the conference of lawyers holding in Enugu would have the opportunity to deliberate on this issue, which is one of the most fundamental issues affecting our people, so that we can evolve a judicial system that is efficient and that works for the citizens. The only cases that move fast are the political cases, election petition cases, because apparently they are time bound, but every other case tend to linger, and that is not good for our system. It cannot help us to grow as a nation economically. It cannot help this country to grow. So I hope that the Bar Conference would have the opportunity to attend to some of these critical issues that affect our citizens in practical terms, and provide sufficient remedies and suggest proper solutions to them to improve our country, and of course improve the lives of our people, make them develop confidence in the judicial system. So I congratulate the lawyers and wish them enjoyable conference experience.